Hi there, welcome back to Reflections by Jane. As I promised you, here is card number 1. I aim to make 10 cards using the Love from Lizi card making kit, and this one's called To the Moon and Back, and it's the kit for January 2023. I'm a new subscriber, as I explained in my last video. If you haven't seen that, then head on over or click the link in the top right and you'll be able to see that video where I did an unboxing. So this is card number 1. I'm using an A6 card, so UK standard size card. I do like A2s as well, but I thought I'd use an A6 on today's project. So I'm just stamping the inside of the card, and I've used the stamp It Was Always You in the stamp set in the kit, and it stamps perfectly. I used VersaFine Claire in the Nocturne, so that's the pitch black ink, and the stamp cleaned up beautifully as well. I used a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I always use a little bit of alcohol just to make sure my stamp stayed nice and clean. I'm just stamping up my personalised stamp. This says handmade by Reflections by Jane, and I always like to stamp the back of my cards with my own stamp, so people know that it's me that's made it. I have ordered actually some new personalised stamps. One's quite rude. So if you would like to see that, then follow me on Instagram and you'll be able to see it over there. And there's another one which is quite plain and boring. So I've cut a piece of the pattern paper that's included in the kit down to the length of the A6 card. It's a top folding card, and I've cut it to 2 inches wide. So I'm just applying a little bit of my adhesive. I'm still getting used to this tape runner. It's the Sticky Thumb from We Are Memories Keepers, and I'm not sure. It's strong adhesive. It's good strong adhesive. I'm just not quite sure if I like the big clunky dispenser. I know they do smaller ones, but I liked the bigger ones because I thought, oh, they'll last longer. So I'm just adhering this 2-inch wide piece as central as I can in the middle of the card, and just snipping off the excess with my long shears. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. It's when I tend to lay pattern paper down like this, you can guarantee I get it all a bit wonky, but today it seems to have gone relatively well. So I'm just smoothing the adhesive down with my bone folder, just making sure it's got good contact and it sticks down well. And then I'm choosing some Love from Lizi peel-offs. These are the red holographic, and I've chosen the medium width on the pinstripe style. Just these take some use to using. You know, you have to practice a little bit with them, but once you've mastered them, they're quite easy to lay down, and they stick down really well. So I'm just adding a little bit of shine on the edge of that 2-inch wide piece of pattern paper. So it just, adds a little bit of bling, shall we say. So I'm just adhering the one on the left. And again, it just takes a moment or two to get it nicely lined up where you want it. And then you can just stretch it out and lay it down. And then I'll just snip off the, I was just straightening that top bit up. I didn't quite like how it was sitting. And then just snip off the excess. And I'll save these little pieces because you never know when they might come in handy. You might just need a little piece, and instead of using a full length, then you've got the smaller pieces to be going on with. So I'm just tidying up, snipping off the excess that I've got there that I don't need, and move on to the next stage. I've already done some preparation for this card because I've made one already. Oh, again, I'm just smoothing that down with my bone folder, getting nice contact. Yeah, so I've already made one of these cards in this design, but I've used different colours, and I'll show you that at the very end of the video. So I'm just tidying up the end of the bottom edge of that card as well, because I did get a nice flush edge, but there was just a little bit that was showing a bit of white, and it was my OCD was kicking in, so I had to snip it off a little bit. Yeah, so it's a good time to remind you that I don't have many subscribers, so if you are watching this and you've stumbled across this video, perhaps consider subscribing. Just ring that bell, and yeah, you'll get your notifications whenever I upload. I don't upload as often as I'd like, because I do work full time. I work part time, but yeah, I'd like to upload more often, but sometimes life gets in the way. So with the die that comes with the kit, there isn't an outside edge on this die. So I've already die cut a piece out in the red cardstock that comes with the kit. But I've got a piece of white pearlescent paper here, and I'm just tracing the outside edge of the die in pencil. And now I'm just going to go and fussy cut this out, and that will give me a nice shadow for the heart. So this bit will be sped up a little bit, because you don't want to see me working a pair of scissors. How boring is that? So I'm just cutting out this fancy edge, a bit like a scalloped edge. If you have got scallop edge hearts, then you'll know what a scallop edge looks like. So I'm just using an eraser to get rid of those pencil lines, anything that's left over. For some reason, this pencil I used was quite stubborn. I couldn't get rid of the pencil marks as easy as I'd like. On the last card, I must have used a different pencil, because it came off dead easy. But for some reason, I'm having a bit of bother getting the pencil marks off this pearlescent cardstock. So I'm just going to apply some adhesive, make sure that the die cut is the right way around, because you don't want to spell the word the wrong way around. That would be disastrous. So I'm just taking my time using a precision tip on my Nuvo Deluxe glue. Just taking my time, making sure I get a good amount of adhesive down, so when I do lay it down onto the pearlescent paper, then it's good contact, and it will it will sit really well. I do have a Crafter's Companion dotty tape pen, which also works really well for this. So you could put the dotty tape on the back of the die cut, and then adhere it to the white piece. So before I put the glue away, I'm just going to put that die cut to one side, and then the little shapes that come in the kit as well, that come with this die set, I've cut out of red glitter cardstock, and I've also die cut some black fun foam as well. So I'll stick the red glitter cardstock to the black fun foam, and it'll give it some dimension when I overlay the heart. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But it's quite fiddly because the pieces are quite small, but I think any attention to detail like this is really worth it, because it just adds more interest to your card. It shows that you have taken your time, it shows that you care about what you do, and it shows that you haven't just put this card together in a matter of minutes, even though it has only taken it a matter of minutes. I think it took me about half an hour, I think, to actually die cut everything, cut all the pieces of paper, cut all the pattern paper, tie a bow, and get everything ready. I think it took me about half an hour, something like that. So it wasn't long at all. And then obviously if you did all your preparation beforehand, you could actually mass produce these cards with no trouble whatsoever. So I'm just making sure this sort of floral element, I'm just making sure it's the right way around, because the heart in the centre of it does line up. You can't see it very well because it is quite tiny, but hopefully you'll be able to see it at the end when I show a still shot. So I'm going to try and put all this this card together now, just while those glitter pieces, the glitter cardstock, adheres to the foam. So I'm just taking my time, making sure I get a good amount of glue on the die cut, so that when I adhere it down, it will stick really well. So I'm just trying to centralise that to the upper, I'd say the upper part of the card. And that white pearlescent border around the die cut of the die cut heart actually does look really nice. It allows a little bit of separation. And there's a bit of shine as well, obviously, with it being pearlescent paper. So now I'm just sticking down these dimensional elements, and just lifting the card up, making sure I get them centralised and in the place I want them to be. The red glitter cardstock is quite a deep, dark red, and obviously being over black foam, it does add a bit of a darker element, shall we say, to the centre of the heart. So it just looks really pretty in my opinion. So again, I'm just going to lift that up just to make sure I've got it centralised where I want it to be. And then when I put the third piece down, the heart over the heart to the left of that at letter L, I can put an acrylic block on the top just to give it a little bit of weight, so that the glue sticks down lovely. Yeah, just making sure it's in the right place while the glue's still pliable and can move about. So I'm just grabbing a bigger surface area of an acrylic block, just laying that gently over the top, not to smudge the glue all over the place, and just give that chance to bond. So I'm just going to add a few finishing touches now, and I've got some of the red mirror hearts that came in the kit, and I've also got a pre-tied black bow, and that will finish off the card. So I'm just going through my shapes, just making sure I've got what I have. The white hearts there, you might have just seen, I did actually colour a few with alcohol pens. So if you've got the white hearts, you can actually colour those with alcohol markers to any colour you want. So I don't have any of the pink hearts that I wanted, because my other card that I'll show you in a minute is pink, and I wanted some pink peel off hearts. So I used the white ones and just coloured them with an alcohol marker. Yeah, so I'm just adding 2 of the larger hearts, 2 of the medium size, and then 1 of the diddy ones. Just randomly scattering my hearts. I do actually ping one of the hearts off the sheet and I can't find it. It's probably stuck to me somewhere, but never mind. So I'm just going to add another little tiny one there, and I just think that looks really pretty, just to balance the card out. So 3 in the top right, 2 in the bottom left, and I just think it adds a really nice balance to the card. So I'm just going to grab a glue dot. Sometimes I use glue dots, sometimes I use hot glue, but I thought just for quickness, and I hadn't heated up my hot glue gun, I'll just use a glue dot for the bow. They're really strong as well, so I've never had any bows come off when using a glue dot. And then I'm just going to trim off those tails just to make it just to make those a little bit shorter, just to balance it out. And I think the black, because everything pretty much on the card is red, I just thought the black really made that pop. I really like that. So yeah, there's some still shots coming up at the end. I'll just show you a quick flash of the inside of the card. So it says, "It was always you." And I've just noticed there's a heart on the end of the U, the word you. So I'm just going to colour that in with an alcohol marker, with a red alcohol marker. I did check the back of the card, and the ink was starting to come through slightly, but not too bad. Oh, and I've just noticed I've got a peel off stuck there. Just pull that off really gently, so not to tear the cardstock. Don't want to ruin my hard work. It has left a bit of residue adhesive behind, but I could quickly buff that off. That was no problem at all. So I think that's really pretty. Simple, elegant, pretty. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again soon. Take care. Bye for now.